I had actually been contacted by Simplanova just by way of a email that went out to many, many people in the NAV world, and responded to it and got the trial license that Petrus had mentioned earlier in the presentation. And I was in the middle of an upgrade project when I did that, and decided to go ahead and see what this was about. I had seen a demo, much like Igne had done. I found it on YouTube and liked what I saw, so I decided to pursue that. And I use this quite a bit, and so I had just made the offer to Petrus. I said, if you ever need a reference site, just feel free to have people contact me, and I'll tell them about this. And so when this webinar came up today, I agreed to come on and talk about our experiences. So Petrus, to the next slide, please. So a little bit about us. I'm with the NBN Group. Our website's www.nothingbutnav.com. And we're a small company located in the U.S. There's actually 5 of us, and we're spread around the U.S. In different states. Our main services, we do standard NAV consulting, customizations, upgrades. I mean, just what probably many people here on the call do. All of us have been working in NAV since the late 1990s, and we've focused on several different verticals. So my role within the company is I'm a consultant, implementer, developer, I do a little bit of everything. So next slide, please, Petrus. So like the rest of you, one of the things that we faced when creating NAV reports before I started using the Simplanova report wizard is, we have been using the classic report writer for many, many years. It was very simple, it was fast, and you could do so many things with it. When the RTC came along, that just made things so much more complicated having to use the RDLC. So it was complicated, it was time consuming. Many times for a customer, we would just take a standard report that was inside the system and just modify it. But sometimes you can't just take a standard NAV report and modify it. You've got to start from scratch. And on this particular upgrade that I was doing, I had a lot of custom features built in for manufacturing with a lot of custom tables, and so in their old system we were taking them from version 2.5 to NAV 2016. I had a lot of reports that needed to be upgraded, and the standard upgrade tools just did not work as well as we had hoped. So what I did then is, on to the next slide, is went ahead and like I said, got the demo, the trial license. That's good for, I believe, 5 reports, and by the time I was done with my 3rd report using the trial license, I decided this is something I needed to pursue purchasing, and so I got a hold of Simplanova and purchased an actual license. And so what I found with this is very innovative, as you saw Igna's demonstration, very innovative, simple to use. It's a lot like the page layout. When I had questions on it, and I had a lot of questions, I would email Igna, and I would get answers very, very quickly. And I'm in the Eastern time zone in the United States, and she's over in Europe, but even in spite of the time zone differences, they were very, very quick to answer my questions. One thing that my client likes about this is that it's economical for them. I create the reports. As she pointed out, it creates a standard NAV object that gets imported then into the customer's database when I'm done, and so the customer doesn't have to buy another license for any other report writer. So as far as the customer is concerned, it's just done in NAV. And what I found is that after doing this, and I've done probably 15 or 17 reports so far, and at this point I'm down to, it takes me about the same amount of time in using Simplanova as what I used to be able to do using the old classic report writer. So it's very quick, it's very intuitive, it's just very nice and easy to use, and just saves a lot of time versus creating the RDLC reports from scratch in NAV. So next slide, please, Petrus. So as far as using the report writer, the Simplanova report wizard in our daily task, as I said, I've created a lot of reports for this particular upgrade client, as well as a couple other clients right now. I've created very simple reports with just details from a single table and, just a standard list reports. I've also created document reports. I saw somebody had mentioned in their question and answers when Petrus mentioned what are the difficult reports. And so one of the things that I did to create was a bill of lading report, which is essentially a shipping report. And I had built some custom shipping functionality in there that had some extra tables in it, so I couldn't just use a standard report out of NAV. So I actually created a fairly complex report, document report using the report writer. I was able to also create conditional reporting, so I can do detail or summary reports. That's very nice. And then was also, by some of the formatting features that are available in there, was able to create what we refer to as the green bar report. So where you have every other line in the detail is shaded, just to make long landscape type reports easier to read. And I've actually got one of the reports for this customer is on 11 by 17 paper, and so I've got 24 columns of data going across there. So they really like the fact that the green bar feature makes that a lot easier for them to use. So next slide. So the experience working with Simplanova, as I said earlier, the team responds very quickly and professionally to any of the questions that I had, and when Igna and I would be going back and forth in an email, she was always good with doing a lot of helpful hints on how to create these reports and some of the shortcuts. There's a fairly short learning curve to become proficient with this. As I said, after about 3 reports, I was sold on the product, and so it was great. And just now, it just saves me so much more time as I've gotten more and more proficient with it. So the try before you buy trial license that Petrus mentioned earlier allowed us to create the reports while we were upgrading without having to actually commit to buying. And just that saved me a lot of time just with those few reports before I decided to purchase the license. And the customer appreciates the fact they don't have to buy a license for another product in order to run reports with another layout. So if anybody has any questions about this, feel free to type them in the box, and along with Petrus and Igne, we'll attempt to answer them. So the very last slide, there's my contact information. If anyone wants to reach out and send an email directly to me, I'm happy to try and answer anything that I can. So thank you very much for attending today, and Petrus, thanks for this opportunity to let me share my experiences.